Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Ant Keeper, where I upload videos twice a week about all things ant related. If you find yourself enjoying this video, please subscribe. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. So first, what is an OutWorld? An OutWorld is a place where either an ant colony or semi-claustral ant can leave their test tube set up to explore and forage for food. Now there are huge benefits to making an OutWorld for your ants. Worker ants instinctually try to burrow out of their test tube, literally pulling away at the cotton. You've probably seen this with your own ants. So giving them an OutWorld cures their inbuilt craving for adventure outside of their founding home. Now, semi-claustral queen ants need this straight from the start. Check out my video on how to raise a semi-claustral queen ant if you haven't already seen it. I'll leave the link in the description below. Your OutWorld needs to have a couple of basic features to work. It needs to be able to connect to your test tube setup that houses your queen ant. It also needs a water supply, whether that is in a test tube setup or in a water feeder. And you need little holes for your ants to breathe. In my OutWorld, the holes are on the detachable lid. Using the lid, you can place the food source in and clean up any debris that gets thrown out by the colony. If you want, you can add a heat source to speed up the colony's growth, using a heat mat or a heat cord. If you do apply heat, introduce it slowly, and watch how the queen ant in particular reacts to the heat source. If it looks like she's trying to move her brood away, it's probably too hot. Also, you'll have to refill your water supply more regularly if you're adding a heat source, so keep that in mind. Next, you can apply a barrier around the top edges of the OutWorld so the ants can't escape. Now you've got some options. You can buy a fluon, or you can make your own barrier at home, like smearing Vaseline around the perimeter of the top of the OutWorld. Now I'm not doing either of these options because the colony that I'm using, the green head ants, can't actually climb plastic or glass. And because this is a professional OutWorld, not one that I've built, I'm pretty confident they can't escape. Now it's time to add substrate. When adding sand or dirt or anything from outside, you have to bake or boil it, otherwise potentially harmful little bugs could be in it and could harm your colony. I bought a bag of reptile sand from the local pet store. It was ridiculously expensive for what it is, but I know that it won't have any harmful bugs in it and it should last me a little while. Now the fun part. This is the fun part, the substrate, the creativity. It runs, it can flow, you can build and make whatever you want. I'm going for a naturalistic Australian environment. A barren sand desert. Just kidding. I'm actually choosing a barren desert because it's a basic layout that's easy to clean and easy to watch these little guys. And that's it. The OutWorld is ready for the colony. All we need left is just to put some food in. Now I'm going to put just a little drop of honey on some aluminium foil and a crushed up mealworm on the other side. Now I did just feed these guys a couple of days ago a mealworm. In fact, the very first mealworm that they've got since I've had them. So they may not be too hungry yet, but we'll soon see. Next up, after we put the food in, is to take the cotton out. So let's see what happens when I take the cotton off the test tube for the first time and they get to see their brand new OutWorld. Well, as you can see, they're a little bit shy at first. Now, it's quite dark in that test tube. A little bit hesitant at first. Just sending out one or two couple of workers just to sort of suss it out a little bit. Try and figure out what's going on. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them just coming out, checking out the beautiful landscape I have carefully crafted for them. Just as I thought, they're not really that hungry yet. Seems to just kind of walk around the mealworm, but not really quite take too much attention to it. I think that more than anything, they're just really keen to check out the new surroundings, see the new OutWorld. Now, I think it's time to take off the aluminium foil I have around the test tube and upgrade it to the new box that I have. Now remember, ants can't really see red light that well, if at all. So we've got this red light box around it, and this way we can see and check up on the colony and see how it's going without disturbing them. In my opinion, this is ultimate setup to have for an OutWorld. I love it. I think it's so cool. Where I can see my ants, which is what I love to do. Got this really cool little setup to go with it. The ants have got everything they need. It's just perfect. What do you guys think of the OutWorld? Do you like it too? I just love it. Can't you tell? Thanks so much for watching my video on how to set up an OutWorld. I hope you guys found it easy to understand, easy to follow through. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.